Hello, my name is Amber Felix, and I'm going to be discussing with you guys this evening Sambian. Sambian currently is suffering from a loss of employees, and the company doesn't quite understand why or where to begin to see why they're losing those employees. Currently, upper level management have looked into uncovering these reasons, and it has left them baffled. And so right now we're going to discuss what they've currently done in their conquest and what exactly has unfolded to lead them to what they are currently doing. So this all started when a gentleman named Tom decided that he was going to leave the company for a competing company. When that was told to Mary, one of the HR departments, she did an exit interview with Tom to discuss the reasons why he was leaving and to see if there was any room for improvement for Sambian. However, she wasn't very successful in that. She didn't get much information, and so when she took this to Helen, who is over the entire company, Helen was not happy. She was not happy that she was losing one of her top performers, and I believe one of the true reasons that they've lost these top performers or employees in general is their lack of teamwork, cooperation, and also their communication as a whole throughout the company. I found that they did lack those things. The first reason being the communication between Tom and Mary was very uncomfortable. It did show that Tom didn't necessarily have that sort of relationship with Mary to discuss in detail the reasons why, whether they were personal or for business reasons. And then from there, it unfolded where Tom made some comments to his wife about how he just wanted to leave the company and let it all be in the past. And normally those types of comments aren't necessarily brought up, but that did stick out to me because I felt like he didn't feel connected to the company. He didn't feel as if he was part of a team, and I don't think the cooperation, the collaboration was there for him to be as a team. The next thing I thought of was when we saw the side view of the employees that were in the break room when they were all discussing the reasons Tom had left. Some of those instances did reflect miscommunication between departments, whereas Tom was being heard as an architect, and there was another gentleman there who was in sales and didn't push to get that architecture built and sold. That bid was never taken. So I think there was some disconnect there. I think if they would have come together and collaborated, maybe on both sides, even if the bid wasn't taken, they would have felt as if they were being considered. The second reason I believe, or the third reason, I'm sorry, I believe that there was miscommunication was when Mary and Helen met. Helen wasn't very apt in hearing some of Mary's comments and guidance when it came to promotions for certain people to keep them on board, whereas Mary, who is in the HR department, does know qualifications and the process of hiring and also promoting. So with that being said, I don't believe Helen took the best route in responding to all of the actions that were taken. I do believe that Helen needs to step back and analyze a little bit more and build relationships with her employees. And that does start with communication, cooperation, and also teamwork from upper level to lower level management. And then from there, Mary, I do believe she did hold her ground. She did very well. She was able to push up surveys and get those pushed out sooner so they could get some sort of clarification, some sort of guidance and starting point for the ideas of why these employees were leaving. I do believe she could have voiced her opinion a little stronger, but then again, I go back to Helen maybe possibly not feeling that competency that she can be comfortable around everyone, and she doesn't have that warmth that I can feel. She's not very personable. So I do believe Mary was going in the right direction at that point. And now moving to what should Sambian be doing now. I do think they need to follow the guidance of Jana Pringle. I think she had the best approach to getting a better footing on issues within the company. She brought in ideas of communication and job talent to the helms that are key issues in retaining employees. I believe she hit some key concepts that help in the employees' job satisfaction and overall retention. She did make sure that Helen, you got to be communicating more and learning more about each department. I think that communication is key in making sure that employees feel satisfied, heard, and that their concerns or their ideas in general are being heard. And that way you get that positive or that creative, constructive criticism back, that we can build a better knit employee community. And that is with job satisfaction. Every employee has to feel as if they're welcomed, has to feel as if they're heard, has to feel as if they're able to go to their upper level management and speak to those people about any concerns, any ideas they have to bring to the table. I think it's great how Jana requested or recommended the open door policy. I think that is great. I think that is something that most companies, if not all companies, should have. I do think that they need to start with implementing that if they have not already. And then lastly, I do think the last thing that resonated with me is that leadership is held accountable for maintaining and growing new recruits and growing their employees into greater achievers. So I think Sambian needs to start by communicating more. They need to set weekly meetings with top managers with their lower level departments. And then Mary, Helen, whoever they put in charge, needs to meet with those department heads. And then from there, they can start growing these chains of communication and starting to build trust between employees. And as an employee myself, you will start to feel as if you're being heard and that your voice is being accepted. And then also the open door policy. It needs to be established immediately if it's not already. If it is already, you need to go ahead and reiterate that and spread the word. And lastly, I do believe that the HR department, as well as upper level management, needs to continue to have a job pool. So that way, if there are employees that do leave for whatever circumstances, the stress is going to be relieved, because you know that you're going to have a competent, high energy, high efficient employee that's going to be able to fill in that spot with minimal time and searching and frustration. So thank you for your time, and I hope you go ahead and go with Jana Pringle. Thank you.